evening, everyone. I'm your VA coach, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this exciting journey into the world of virtual assistants. With over a decade of freelancing experience, I'm here to share the lessons, strategies, and real life insights that have shaped my own career. In this interview, I'll also share some stories of professionals with their challenges, wins, and lessons learned. These stories will help you understand what it's really like to work online and how to handle different situations to thrive in the digital workspace. Tonight, we will be talking about why can't you sell the skills you do? Without further ado, let me introduce tonight's guest. Angel is a seasoned professional whose career journey reflects a powerful pivot from simply selling services to strategically marketing them. With years of experience in the publishing industry, Angel started out in direct sales roles before realizing that true success meant understanding the bigger picture, how to position, package, and promote what he was offering. This shift led him to embrace marketing, consulting, helping authors and clients not just sell their work, but build a lasting brand. Tonight, Angel brings insights on how anyone can break through self doubt and bridge the gap between what they do and how they present it to the world. Let us all welcome Angel Layson. So, can you tell us your story and how you started in the industry?
I started as a call center agent, as a customer service representative for um, 2 years, and then um, a friend called me, offered the job for sales, but it was the traditional selling. It was a CCTV product, computers, and also I have to visit stores or possible leads or clients. And then after 6 months, I got an offer from a friend again. Um, went back to working as a call center agent and all. And then that's when I got introduced to upselling. Worked again for maybe 3 more years. I end up seeing an ad. I started meeting people who work in the sales industry, um, more on the marketing. So I decided, why not try? I always tell myself, um, I'm a very hardworking. I'm very hardworking. So I mean, if you work in a typical call center setup, you get what you get. If it's basic 25, that's what you get. So in sales, if you do more, you get more. That's my motto for myself. So anyhow, that's how I end up in the sales industry. I kind of fell in love with the job description, um, um, with what you do really, with the commission, with the money and all. Especially I have a family to feed, so I don't really know what I mean how to expand on it, but if yeah, that's how I end up really in this industry. Just more on um the description of the job and the opportunity to get more really to earn more. I don't know if that's enough.
Money is always interesting, no? To keep everyone motivated, especially if you're a provider in a family, regardless. So, you are an undergrad in electrical engineering.
Mhm.
This, I am highlighting this to promote inspiration, not the other way around. I'm just curious, no? From that, from that educational background, you transitioned into sales instead of getting a job that's aligned to your education.
Mhm.
Um, did you have any self doubts getting there?
No, not at all. Um, some said I'm a natural sales. Um, and you just really have to embrace it. Um, sales is not, it's not just I'm going to work and then start making calls or start selling. It's and then when the shift is over, you go home and then it's done. No, it's different for sales. If you want to thrive in this industry, you have to be always selling, either either inside the office or outside the office. You should always be selling. You should learn stuff. So that's just really it. So it's really embracing and committing um, to being a sales agent. It will help you a lot compared to doubting yourself, listening to others. Maybe will give you those negative thoughts. I mean, I had a mentor before. He told me that the number one enemy is yourself. I mean, your number one enemy is yourself. Um, it's not the next person. It's not your family. It's really yourself. So um, the only one who's holding you back is you. Start blaming others. Accountability is there. So if you're at fault, you're at fault. Fix it. That's the only option you have. So no, the
That's a
transition
real
was not really hard or difficult for me.
challenges are meant to be embraced more often than not in life. So from the unfamiliar, everything in sales got very much familiar since you have already
Mhm.
embraced a whole new world from your education. Um, right now, you are in marketing and publishing. How was that transition for your career this
Um,
time?
Publishing marketing is totally different. I had to psych myself, or I have to really get help from um, friends, colleagues, because it's a different field when it comes to sales. Um, Typical sales, you just sell a product, service, or whatnot. But in publishing marketing, it's really getting the trust of the client, selling yourself. Um, so everything comes in your confidence, the way you say things, the tonality. I mean, you can say, you can close a sale. Let's do this. Let's do this, John. I mean, that could be okay, but you could add tonality like, let's do this. Why not? So if you change the tone of your voice, the conviction, um, that that will really help compared to just sticking to the typical way of saying it. So yeah, it was difficult for me at first. I had to adjust, like, I think for 6 months. I even almost lost my job. Um, but yeah, so until I learned those things, secret really is to listen. It's in sales. I mean, in publishing marketing, it's really more on more is less. Less is more. The more you get your client talk, the more you get your client express themselves. The more you get the sale. It's different in the typical sales where you get to say everything, you get to talk 80%. Um, or so yeah, I mean it's really different in publishing marketing. So and plus it saves me energy. I just listen to them, right? Just ask the question. But yeah.
That's really that's really interesting. Now, on that note, because sales and marketing really they have to work together. In your
Mhm.
case, sales came first, and marketing was a bit difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was there a time, I know you've mentioned that for 6 months it was a struggle somehow at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, how were you able to bridge that gap from selling to marketing?
So first you have to learn. You have to accept the fact that you have to learn new things, right? So I have to understand what sales is, and I have to understand what marketing is. So um, I went through a lot of training, watched different videos. Yeah, videos really help. Um, it's not just for encouragement, but knowing that people had gone through the same situation you had. So it really boosts my confidence. And then, so yeah, I mean, I accepted the fact that I'm not really good at that point in marketing. So I have to ask someone who's good at it. I have to enroll in um, maybe webinar back then, but even read a book. So anything that would help you. So that's going back to what I said before. I mean, you cannot be a sales agent inside the office and then not be a sales agent outside the office. So same thing with marketing, I would say.
Now, given that you have fully developed yourself in the marketing industry this time, no? Um, how were you able to build your brand, your personal brand in marketing and publishing? Because sales was a different persona for you, right?
Mhm.
You were not the same person you were when you were in sales because there was a mind shift there and there were new learnings, like we mentioned earlier. So, how did that affect your branding?
Um, for branding, it applies differently on make because I'm more on helping my clients to build their own brand. It's really not more on um, building my own, but thinking about it, yeah, I mean, what I do mostly is help my clients build their brand, get their book really out there. Of course, getting deals for them, but thinking about me building my brand, um, I guess it's just really getting the trust from my clients and word of mouth that really help. Um, Maybe integrity is really the key there. Just being honest to your clients. Um, that's how I build my own brand. I can call them any time of the day. They'll pick up. I can say hi, hello, goodbye. That's it. We can have um, just any conversation we can have. Can throw jokes and all, but um, that's the brand I have created. Yeah. Anyways, the trust they gave me is already enough, and I as much of course as much possible I wanna keep that intact, and also the relationship we build. I think that's the brand I have, and I take pride on it because um back in being being a sales agent, a regular one, just you end your relationship when you get the money, when you get the sale. That's it. But in this industry, marketing, publishing is different. Um, the relationship could go a year or two, depending on, um, of course, if they still want to continue the service or whatnot. But the friendship, the connection is there. That's the brand I always want to. That's the brand I always work on with every client I have.
Is there any practical advice from someone who has a sales superpower, in my own opinion, and it's personal? Do you have any habits you can share with the audience that has helped you to have that confidence that you have right now?
Um, Maybe reflect first. You really need to know yourself, and then ask, or I mean, if you can look for a mentor, if you have a mentor, good. But what how I did it is that I really watch videos in YouTube and then Facebook from those great ones, Grant Cardone and whatnot. Reading books, that's one. Yeah, reading books. Um, Practice makes perfect. It still applies. I had to. I mean, I don't have a mirror, so I can't look in the mirror and then do my speech or do my pitch and all. But I did record myself, like doing my pitching, my talks, on my phone, and then I play them back, and I feel like this is crap. So I have to do it again. And then this is so ugly, and then I have to do it again, and then this is so lame. So I have to do it again. That really helped me. Just use the recording on your phone. That really helped me. Um, and what else? Um, Watching videos, I guess. It's Yeah, going back. It really helped a lot knowing that there's those who's worse than me who's now earning a lot than me. Um, um, so yeah, you really have to work hard on it. You can't. I mean, maybe um not persevere. But there will be challenges you have to go through, right? So you just really have to um accept the fact that this is happening and you have to go through it. I mean, if there's any challenges or problems, you really have to face it now rather than face them later. Because um, the feeling that you fulfill something or that you overcome something, that adds confidence. And um, compared to this generation, they just ran away from anything they encounter. So that helped me. I have a good, really good supporting cast behind me. I mean, seeing my kids, my wife, at home. Um, it's refreshing enough. It's encouraging enough. And if you're really lost, you just have to pray for guidance. So that's what I did, and I hope it's gonna help you.
Totally, it should. Now, I would like to ask you before we wrap up this interview, what was the last problem you solved?
The last problem myself. Okay. Maybe not the last problem, but I really did have to um convince my wife to let me buy a bass guitar because it's quite pricey, but I really have to talk her into it. It took me like 6 months to do it. Um, this is what I'm telling you earlier. You really have to really live sales or marketing 24, 24 hours in 7 weeks. So I have to plant the seed in her. I have to talk her like this is a good base. This is I could play better with this one. It looks nice. So and then it didn't work. I had to transition using a different approach. So I asked her the power of asking questions, right? So how I mean, do you think we can afford, or do you think, I mean, what's your opinion? So those questions do I look good in this base? You think we can play more genre if we have this one? So took me 6 months of convincing and selling, and um then one time she said, Aren't you gonna buy the base?" So that's the sale. That's the sale. Um, Sometimes you just don't have to ask for it, but because you really worked hard and planted the seed, do your due diligence, the sale will come. So she said, "Aren't you gonna buy the base?" I said, "Yeah, I am." So there you go.
Oh, that's a really good psychology. The reframing and the mind conditioning all throughout the process. It's interesting and it has gotten more interesting. Now, my last question for you would be from that problem that you have solved, from that seed that you've planted and the sale that you have made, how did that help build your character, your attitude, and your skills? Those three.
It's helped a lot. Um, if we talk about skills, it um it really helped me because there's two. I mean, if you're a family man like me, there's two-person that would be very very difficult to convince. That would be your wife, and then that would be your kids. So if you can sell something to your wife, and if you can sell something to your kids, you're gonna be a really good sales agent. If you can convince them to do this and do that, you're gonna thrive in this world. Because um, it's um, because they know who you are. I mean, and then plus they can just use their VIP card. Like, I'm your wife. You can't do this to me. I mean, I'm your wife. You have to do this and whatnot. And then for your kids, they can just cry maybe or just use those um teary eye technique we have. So um maybe some they whine or whatnot. But if you can sell them to do something and to do this, you're that, that's gonna really gonna help you. That's what I did. I have to sell something to my kid before, like that may use her phone without anything in exchange. I mean, or in return. I have to sell the fact that one time I have to sell to my wife that I really need more sleep because I need to do more work, but in reality, I was just really sleepy. So I got that done, and yeah, it did help. Attitude, I would say, patience is really important because you can be hasty. You want things right now. You want things right away. Um, but patience is still. I mean, you have that thing that you can use that would really help you. Um, I have a my boss before would always tell us if you want something, um, I mean, sorry, the world doesn't give you what you want. You have to fight for it. So fighting for it doesn't mean you um use any unnecessary method or in sales like scamming or lying or whatnot. Sometimes fighting for it means being patient enough to win it. For character, I always go back to what my grandma told me when I was still young. Never take advantage of anyone if you don't want to be taken advantage. Um, so that's what I always think when I talk to my clients or prospects. Because it's really, I mean, for me, it's really about the trust. Um, Sales, maybe sales, not too much, but in marketing where you can talk to them or have to talk to them every week. For my case, I always make sure I get to talk to them twice a week. So, um, so yeah, that's what I really, really, so the character values, it's something that maybe not, I mean, for some, they say it's difficult to build, but it's really new already. And the 6 months struggle I told you earlier, I had to go back to my childhood, and that's when I remembered. Okay, my grandma said, "Do not take advantage of anyone if you don't want to take advantage of." So, it helped me. So maybe not, maybe just try it as well. So I guess that's it.
Wow. Such a great story. Thank you for your insights, Angel. I hope I hope you have also learned something new, or I think
Mm-hmm.
you've gotten something to think about with the questions I've asked you tonight. No, becoming a VA really needs character and attitude because the skills we all have that, but it's the character and the attitude that will determine how far we can go from everything that we do. Life is temporary, skills can be temporary, but when you're fooling yourself, you're fooling other people. If you're not trustworthy and if you're not patient, no, you will not last long in any industry. So once again, thank you. Thank you so much for your time and your insights. Have a good
Well, thank
one.
you for having me, and God bless.
Thank you all for joining tonight. We hope tonight's session gave you some clarity on how to build your brand and how you can confidently present yourself when you're marketing to your prospect clients. As we learned from our guest, it's not just about the skills, it's about being you, your character, your attitude with those skill sets. So keep practicing, keep learning, and keep showing up. Don't be afraid to show the world what you're greatly capable of because you can definitely do it. See you on the next session.